Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode of Sport Talk. I'm your host Evan, and today I'm joined with Ryan and Aiden. And today we got a packed episode for you guys, talking about some NFL and some NBA stuff. But before we start, make sure to follow us on all of our social medias at Sport.Talk Podcast on TikTok and Instagram, and make sure to like and subscribe. And today's topics for today is Tom Brady washed? The Christian McCaffrey trade? Are the Bengals back? Breece Hall's injury? Are Celtics Finals favorites? Lakers struggles, and the Jazz surprising start. So we'll start off talking about, is Tom Brady washed? The Bucks currently are 3-4, and Brady's has thrown for a little under 2,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he has a 53.2 QBR, which, from just the stats alone, you don't think he's having a bad season, but from eye tests, it's really, really awful. This last game against the 1-6 Panthers, he threw for 290 yards and 0 touchdowns with 0 interceptions, and they lost. They didn't even score a touchdown. So, Ryan, what are your thoughts on Tom Brady right now?
See, he's playing very bad, and he's playing terrible right now. Do I think it'll continue? No, I think knowing Tom Brady, watching him all my life, like when it comes to the end of the season, when it's crunch time, clutch time, and when playoffs start to come around, I feel like Brady. I mean, the Bucs still got all the talent in the world. They didn't lose any big talents. It's just they're just struggling right now. I think they'll eventually put it together with Brady bouncing back, but I am like a little like worried right now, and Bucs fans should be worried because you can't go lose to like Panthers. They just sold out to tank, and then you go out and lose to Walker?
PJ Walker.
Yeah, PJ Walker. Like, come on, Bucs, come on now, Brady. Brady's, but I'm not giving up on Brady yet. I still think he can show up when the playoffs start. Aiden?
Bucs fans, you should not be worried. It's Tom Brady. It's the GOAT. He is struggling right now. I will admit that. Like, the Bucs do not look the best, but Tom Brady is a playoff QB. He loves performing in the playoffs more than the regular season. So you just gotta hold in it until the playoffs. But I don't think he's washed. I mean, he probably took maybe like a step back, but he still got it in him. I mean, like Ryan said, like the Bucs have all the talent. Like, they still have the defense. They still got Mike Evans, Godwin, Fournette. Like, they got the talent. It's there. They got the GOAT. I still think the Bucs can make the Super Bowl and even win the Super Bowl. I believe Tom Brady is not washed at all. Yeah, I think he's fine.
Side note, I do think Brady should retire and go back to his family. Yeah. Just thought I'd say that.
No, see, this is better for Tom Brady. He doesn't have to worry about his family now. Even though he should, but like,
it's a terrible situation for Brady. I feel bad for them.
Brady is. Whenever everyone counts him out, that's when Brady performs the best. So just watch out.
Maybe it's motivation for him.
Maybe
we'll see.
It is.
I'm starting to panic on Brady. I mean, we're 7 weeks in now, and he just has looked like a shell of himself from last year. Because last year he put up statistically like his best season ever. Yeah. At however old he is, like 46, 45. I don't know exactly how old he is now. But and then he retired for a month, came back, and then he's looked just like a complete shell of himself. Yeah. Yes, the Bucs have had their fair share of injuries on the outside, with Evans missing some time, Godwin missing time, Julio missing time. But these last 2 or 3 weeks, Godwin's been healthy, Evans has been healthy, and Fournette's still there. Their O-line did take a big hit from last year, but it's Tom Brady. You got to just overcome that. Yeah. And he's shown that he can. But I think time's starting to catch up to him. I think this is last year in the NFL. I think he's retiring after this year. He said he wasn't, but I don't buy it. And like you said, the whole thing with his family, I think that's behind the scenes, that's doing a lot to his mental health. Yeah. That's obviously the whole situation is bad, and that has to go into why he's playing bad. And I also think it might do a little bit with the head coach too, because Bruce Arians was a more offensive centered head coach, and Todd Bowles is more defensive. Yeah. So the schemes. Like
defense looks good.
Yeah, really defense is always good, and they're the reason why they're 3-4. The defense has just been carrying. Mm-hmm. I mean, Brady had one game against the Falcons where it was against the Chiefs where he actually looked like the Tom Brady that we're accustomed to seeing. But other than that, losses to Packers, who have been awful this year, Steelers awful, and Carolina awful. I'm starting to worry if I'm a Bucs fan because like Aiden was saying, like he's a playoff QB, but I don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs.
There's no shot the Bucs don't make the playoffs. If they keep it
up like this,
you have the Panthers, Falcons, and who else? And the Saints. The Saints are 2-5.
They just lost to the Panthers, and they only beat the Falcons by 6 points. I don't know.
It's Mariota. Like the Bucs are fine; they will make the playoffs.
They'll probably make the playoffs,
but
I don't think they're gonna go very far. I think maybe divisional, and that'll probably be it. Just because I don't see anything out in this Bucs team that makes me like, all right, we'll bounce back later. But I don't know. They're just not clicking right now, and that's kind of worrying, in my opinion.
Yeah.
One of the bigger news that happened from this past week was Christian McCaffrey got traded. Kind of came out of the blue. I mean, we knew that there were talks of some sort of potential deal brewing, but I was not expecting the Niners to be that team. And the Niners traded their 2023 second, third, and fourth round pick and a 2024 fifth round pick to the Panthers for Christian McCaffrey. I think this was a big win for the Panthers. I mean, Christian McCaffrey obviously is one of the best running backs when healthy. Keyword when healthy. And to get, 4 picks for an injury-prone running back that's getting towards the end of his prime, I think it was probably the best offer that they could have gotten. I think this fully shows to me that they're full tank mode, full rebuild. They took some offers on Brian Burns and DJ Moore, but it looks like the only person that they might trade is DJ Moore. They already shipped out Robbie Anderson, so I think the Panthers are just going full, like at the deadline, just full tank, getting rid of any piece. They fired Matt Rule, which was what they needed to do, so I think they're just heading in a whole new direction. And I think the CMC trade was the big piece that started all of that.
Yeah, I felt like the Panthers could have got more for CMC. I know he's injury prone, but I mean, on the field, he can carry your team. So I didn't really think the Panthers. But I mean, they had to ship him off. So if that's all they could have got, I do that. They should have traded him because they're not gonna win anytime soon. So they would kind of just waste CMC there. It wouldn't really do anything for them, especially if they're gonna tank. Get him off, get some picks. I think it's a huge move for the 49ers. I love that move. I'm a big Jimmy G guy. I think we heard that in the first one. So I think Jimmy G with now CMC and Debo, I think it's going to be a deadly little, whatever you want, duo there in the backfield. I think this bumps the 49ers up to, I think they got Super Bowl contenders. So I'm liking it.
I think it was a good trade for both. I mean, the Panthers obviously rebuilding. They got a bunch of picks. That's what they need. Chris McCaffrey wasn't working out with them. He is an injury-prone running back, so they did get a good amount for him. And then the Niners too, him on the Niners, that's deadly. Him and Debo, that's gonna be a deadly duo. I mean, Jimmy G, he didn't look that good last game against the Chiefs. I mean, that pick at the end was brutal. But I mean, Chris McCaffrey was also limited, so once he's in a full workload, the Niners are gonna be looking good. Niners Super Bowl contenders. I believe in that too.
Do you guys think CMC is the answer to get over the hump for the 49ers?
Maybe.
What hump?
They always go to the NFC Championship and then lose.
I mean, they made it to the Super Bowl. They've been over the hump.
Yeah,
they didn't win the Super Bowl.
I feel like they always get stuck.
I mean, NFC is looking kind of weak besides the Eagles, really. You know, the team looks good, so.
That is true. There's only 2 teams.
I mean, Debo, he loves going off in the playoffs. I mean, if he can do what he did last year, he put his full body on the line. If he does that this year, Niners will.
But now CMC is going to help take some of that off of him. He'll get more of the workload. So I feel like it's huge because now Debo can stay fresh, and then you'll let CMC loose. So I'm riding 49ers right now. So especially if the NFC is wide open.
Yeah. I mean, I think this was like a win-win for both teams.
Yeah.
Like Aiden said. Rebuild, they get the picks, and then the NFC is wide open pretty much, other than I'd say the Eagles and maybe the Cowboys if they can continue like the run where they're going.
The Cowboys?
Hey, I'm just they're
With Dak?
decent. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but they're as of right now they're like one of the better teams in the NFC.
I guess
The record, but
But I think the Eagles are the clear favorites right now.
clear favorites. Eagles.
But I mean, CMC helps them a lot. They have obviously Debo, and now CMC you can use both of them in the run. You can use both of them in the pass. You can put CMC at the slot. You can put Debo at the slot. You can run jet sweeps. Like that offensive playbook just opens so much. And I think Kyle Shanahan is going to use both Debo and CMC in very creative ways and get them both involved a lot. But I still don't really trust Jimmy G. I think like he's going to hold him back a little bit, but I think they're definitely going to win their division. Their division's
Jimmy G all the way.
The division's pretty like wide open right now. They're sitting at 3-4, but I don't think the Seahawks are keeping the pace that they're at, and the Rams like right now. I don't think once CMC is like fully in the offense and gets like the full load, I think they'll take it up, and then they'll be the winners of the NFC West come playoff time. I can see him making NFC Championship just because of how open the NFC is, but I think they'd lose to the Eagles. They're still my favorites.
Eagles are also my favorites.
Yeah. And also, I feel with the Niners, they're always just very injury prone. It doesn't matter. Like Kittle always gets hurt. Nick Bosa always gets hurt. So
Yeah.
if all those guys can stay healthy, I think they got a good shot to make a deep run. But if one of those guys goes down for a long period of time or the season, then we might be having a different conversation. But I think the CMC trade, that helps them so much. It's going to be real tough for defenses to stop them because it's like they put CMC in the backfield. All right, do you stack the box and let them just throw it to Debo? Or do you put an extra safety corner in there and run sort of like a nickel look, but then they'll just run it all over you with CMC? So they can really do whatever they want on offense. And I think it's going to help Jimmy G a lot for sure, because now that he just has so many weapons. But the only thing that I would say would hold the Niners from like making that playoff run, getting over the hump, would be Jimmy G, because I still don't. It depends on what Jimmy G you're getting.
I believe
like
in
Jimmy G, like is either gets the job done, or you're like, why the heck are you on the football field right now? So it really just depends what Jimmy G you get week in and week out. If it's consistently decent Jimmy G, then you're chilling. But other than that,
He's gonna prove to a lot of people, because Trey Lance up in the air I still think Trey Lance should get the job next year, but Jimmy G gonna go out on a bang right here. He's gonna go ball out in these playoffs.
We'll see.
We're rolling with Jimmy G. Come on now.
So you think the 49ers are true contenders?
I
Even with like Bucks,
truly think the 49ers
Vikings,
can. Yep.
Giants.
I take
said
them.
the Bucks were washed.
I take the.
Yeah, but
I take the Bucks over.
Make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think
So
right now
are they
my
contenders.
I
over
think
the
my
Bucks?
3 contenders are the Bucks, just because of Tom Brady, and then Eagles and Niners. I don't really like anyone else. The Rams, I don't like.
Eagles,
Cowboys, no way.
Eagles, 49ers, my top
Vikings,
2.
no way.
I don't like the Vikings Super Bowl,
It's
but
Kirk Cousins. He
I
can't
do think
perform
the
under
Vikings
lights.
can make a playoff run, not to Super Bowl, but the NFC's open. They'll make some like shocking win. I can see that happening.
I feel like the NFC there'll be like one team that is kind of you don't think's gonna. Do
Yeah, there's gonna be
well,
some.
and
There's an NFC
like
team's
that.
gonna like some team's gonna pop off and go to the NFC
That was
Championship.
the Niners last year.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like this is the first year that the Bucks and the Packers have just not been the top 2 in the NFC, pretty much.
Oh, go off. Do you guys? Will the Packers make the playoffs or will they miss it?
I think they will, just based on like the division they're in and
Yeah, but
the rest of the teams.
I think the Vikings take the division.
The Vikings will take the division.
Will
but
they make a lot of teams winning?
I don't know. I mean, you got the Giants and Cowboys, 5-2 and 6-1. It'd be hard for the Packers.
Yeah, it'll be.
What's there any? Is there?
Well, I think the Packers are gonna make a big deadline move. I think they're gonna go out and get a receiver like a Chase Claypool,
Get Jerry Jeudy,
like a
please.
Jerry Jeudy. I think they're going to go out and get a receiver because if they don't, then they're in trouble. So I think they're going to go out and get a competent receiver for Rodgers.
That'd be clutch. Yep.
We'll see.
I do feel like Packers. After the first weeks, I really thought they had everything figured out with the two running backs, with AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones just running off both of them, and then just playing letting their defense play good. But I mean, clearly right now the wide receiver production is not anything for Aaron Rodgers, and he's definitely frustrated. So for sure, can see a deadline move. Would love them to trade for Jared Judy. So hopefully that'll happen, but we'll see. But I do think, they'll go after some wide receiver. That definitely will help. I can see that. But I do think right now, Packers in a tough spot. They're definitely going to have to turn it on now. They're on a what? 3-game losing streak?
It's tough.
But if anyone can turn around, it's Aaron Rodgers. So. Which it's kind of like Brady. But yeah, I just think that they're going to make a big deadline move that'll help them.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the rookies like Romeo Doubs or Christian Watson can turn it around.
Not Christian Watson.
Maybe Lazard.
Yeah.
No, I just doesn't look
Romeo
good.
season.
Didn't Lazard get hurt?
Lazard's out for I think it said something like I don't know if maybe 2 weeks. I thought it said something 2 weeks ish. I thought, or it could be another player, but he is hurt. He will be out for at least a couple of weeks.
Yeah, they're gonna have to rely on their running.
Yeah, it was 2 to 4, something with his shoulder. Now I remember. Yeah, so he's that kills the Packers.
Yeah, I mean Dobbs didn't do anything yesterday.
I started him in fantasy. I don't want to talk about it.
Goose egg.
He had zero catches. So
He has the opportunity next week.
yeah,
He shines.
yeah. I mean, I think the only real divisions that have contenders is NFC West and NFC East. Other than that, I don't really see anybody.
Yeah.
Just 'cause I can see the Rams bouncing back, maybe.
I can see the Rams back.
I can see the
bouncing back.
Niners. I don't think the Seahawks are keeping up their production. I can see the Giants making the playoffs. Eagles making the playoffs. Yeah, maybe the Giants. I don't know.
I think they'll make playoffs. I don't think they're any
they're Super Bowl
through attendance.
No.
But
I think they'll squeak in wild card.
The wild card with the season they're having, with everything about them, I think
long as they
they're kind of bound to slip into the wild card. Will they win? Probably not. But it would be cool. I'm a big Giants. Giants was my sleeper team this year, and love Saquon. So to see Saquon in the playoffs would be true meaning to me. So I would absolutely love that. So but they're not gonna. I'm not gonna go out and say that they're gonna win a playoff game.
I think they'll sneak in the wild card.
They'll sneak in. Maybe they can sneak an upset. Wow. Daniel Jones in the playoffs. We'll see.
Gosh,
Hey, he looks good.
playoff Danny Dimes.
Daniel Jones looks good. I just don't know if he can do that in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it's just Brian Dable is just carrying.
Do you
that
guys
team.
think the Eagles? Well, the Eagles will obviously be in the playoffs, but Giants, Cowboys. So you think 3 people from the NFC East can make the playoffs? That'd be pretty crazy. When the bottom tier division that everyone hated on,
Yeah, now
3 of them might be in the playoffs. That's kind of crazy to think about. So, I mean, that'd be interesting.
I mean,
to follow.
if it's gonna be in any division, I'd say that would be theirs.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the Seahawks have been doing good, but I don't trust them. And then you got Niners.
I like the
and
Seahawks.
Rams.
I think they play well, but
I don't think they'll make a playoff run. I
Yeah.
think they'll have.
49ers are going to start winning more.
Yeah.
And then I feel like the Rams.
The Rams will probably figure it out.
Yeah, they'll figure it
I mean,
They
I
have
don't.
Cooper Cup.
Yeah, they have their entire team.
They have
from
their
last year.
team.
They just
I mean,
started off slow.
They made the Super Bowl with Jared Goff, and they've always made the playoffs with Jared Goff. So I don't know. McVay's gonna turn it around.
Yeah,
Stafford.
he'll figure it
It's
out.
gonna bound to happen.
Yeah, Stafford's been real bad, but
He hasn't been
they'll
bad.
get it together. But yeah, the Bucks, their division's awful. Other than them,
That is a terrible division.
Falcons, Saints, Panthers.
Is Winston back? I mean, I don't want to say the Saints are gonna win anything.
He's back next week.
Is he back?
Yeah, I think so.
I still don't think, but still, that's
No.
they're at bottom. So Panthers.
We were saying.
I don't know. Falcons, they look really good. If you watch them, they look like they play very well and keep games close. I would not count the Falcons out of playoffs. I would 100% can see the Falcons slipping into a wild card.
Absolutely not.
I think they will.
They
Absolutely not.
they look. Well, I don't know. The Falcons. They compete with every single team, and then
It
like
doesn't matter if you compete, you gotta win. You can lose a close game every game, and you still won't make the playoffs.
who they beat? They beat the 49ers. They only lost to the Bucs by 6, and they only lost to the Rams by 4.
Saints by 1.
And by 1, they keep games close. So like, I just wouldn't like. They'll just be like a middle team, but like, hey, one team always sneaks in. So
They are the number one, like top 3 in rushing this year
They do got a good run game.
with Patterson, but he's on IR right now, and then Algier and I forget the other guy. But I just don't think Mariota's.
yeah,
I don't think he's ready for like the lights. I don't think he's.
I don't think he'll ever be. But
I mean, like Kyle Pitts is still. We're still wondering where he is.
he's here. He's been playing to the Falcons' strength. Forget like fantasy football, which I have on my team, so I wish you could get. But without that, like teams like are like worrying about him. They game plan for him, and so they like sometimes they'll double team him, and he opens up routes for other wide receivers to get open. So Kyle Pitts, like he's contributing for the team, and the coach knows that, and even he knows that. So that's all that matters. So like,
I don't know why they don't try to give him the ball more though.
they should give him the ball more.
Yeah.
Start feeding Kyle Pitts
I don't know why
right
you're
now.
using your first
Whoever the
round
Falcons
pick
coaches,
as a
start
decoy.
feeding Pitts the ball. But they are using him in a good way, so he is producing. But as a fantasy manager, please.
You think using him as a decoy is a good way?
To win football games? Yeah. I mean, but like I don't.
I mean, if I wasted
It doesn't really make any sense though, because then you look at other teams, like no one uses like their studs as like a decoy.
Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, Justin as decoys.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, he's gonna eventually get the targets and like go off.
Hopefully.
Once they get a quarterback, I believe he will.
Yeah.
I
Once
just
they get
think
quarterback.
The offense is so run dependent. Like it's Mariota. I don't think Kyle Pitts will. We won't see that breakout this year. Maybe next year, if the Falcons tank and get Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. We'll see.
I mean, Pitts has less than 200 yards receiving and 1 touchdown, so that's basically like a game stat, but that's for his entire season. So I do think, like, I agree when they get a quarterback, like I think they'll be better and he'll be better.
That's facts.
But I'm just really shocked. Like, there's no out of Drake London, there's no receiving threats on this team. And I'm just shocked that they're not prioritizing.
Yeah,
even if he's double teamed, the dude's like 6'5", like he could probably catch it over them.
That's true.
And he's probably going up against linebackers since he's a tight end. So I'd say they at least should take some shots with him, because like he's a generational talent. They just have to use him like that, and they haven't yet. But I think I'm not worried about him yet. I'm not panicking, but like if I'm fantasy manager, I'm panicking. But
This year I'm like panicking, but like in a dynasty, Kyle Pitts will be fine.
yeah, it'll be good. So yeah, you guys mentioned his name just a couple minutes ago, but Jamar Chase had himself a day yesterday. Bounce back game for the Bengals, 35-17 against the Falcons. Jamar Chase just looked like Jamar Chase of old. 130, 2 touchdowns. But what was really the big X factor was Tyler Boyd, 155 and 1 touchdown. First 3 plays, 60-yard bomb, wide open. He was just dominating the first quarter. He had over 100 yards in the first quarter and a touchdown. And T. Higgins was 7 yards away from 100, so they almost had 300-yard receivers.
That is nasty.
Which is what we're accustomed to seeing the Bengals of last year, but this year they've been pretty they've been sluggish on offense. But Joe Burrow, he's been getting back in the groove of things. 34 for 42, 481 and 3 touchdowns, just an absolute masterclass.
500. That is insane.
Granted, like the Falcons secondary was super banged up and stuff, but I mean, you just got to play to what you're given, and they rushed the ball 17 times, but they were throwing the ball just because they knew coming into the game that their secondary was banged up and that their talent was better than the opponent's talent, and that I think this game's a big confidence booster for the Bengals. I think like everyone's just been dogging on them the whole season, which understandably, I mean, But when you really look at it, outside of the Steelers game, they should have won all of these games. Steelers lost by 3 through 4 interceptions. We deserve to lose that game. Cowboys lost by 3, should have won that. Jets, they got back on track. Dolphins got back on track. They played well there. Ravens lost by 2. That was a tough loss. Came back in, lost in Louisiana against the Saints. That was really the game that I feel like kind of put them back, gave them a lot of confidence. Back in Louisiana, where Jamar and Joe Burrow kind of where they won a national championship. Burrow wore Jamar's championship jersey, and then Jamar had a game, and then this blowout against the Falcons. And I mean, I think the Bengals are back. I think they're contenders again. They do have the second toughest schedule in the AFC, or in the NFL, excuse me, which I'm a little worrisome about, but I feel like the guys are getting their confidence back. The offense is starting to click more. The defense is still top in the league, and I think they're getting on a roll here, and I think they're gonna silence the haters that they had this early on this season, and I think they're gonna come back and bounce back. Yeah.
I think this is the Bengals that we know, and this is the Bengals that they should have been doing the first couple of games. They're a passing team, and the first couple of games they try to run around, which you should get the run game going. But I mean, you just gotta eventually. It was bound. Just let Jamar Chase, Boyd, T. Higgins go out there and just let them ball. Joe Burrow. I mean, almost 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's like that's a top stat line right there. And like almost all 3 receivers had over 100 yards. Like, I mean, that wide receiver trio is
best in the league.
Best in the league. That's scary. So that's the Bengals, and I think the Bengals will continue to do this. And like, yeah, people were like worried about them, but I mean, teams always figure it out. So Bengals right back where they should be.
I think the Bengals definitely back. I mean, when you let Jamar Chase do his thing, you're gonna win football games. Just get the ball in his hands, and he'll make a play. I feel like they really didn't do that in the beginning of the season. Maybe he was going to double team, so they were looking away from him. But like when you get Jamar Chase the ball, you're going to win games. I mean, he just makes plays after plays. So I would say the Bengals are definitely back. I mean, yeah, the offense is just loaded. Like the receivers with Boyd, Higgins, Chase, and then you also got Mixon too. Like Bengals are back.
Yeah, I think, like you said, Aiden, one of the biggest reasons why they got off to like a slow start is because teams kind of figured out their passing game. They were taking away the deep ball, which is what they were known for last year. Like Joe Burrow would make the big plays, Jamar Chase would make the big plays, and that would just take all the momentum and swing it to their side. And they were like doubling Chase, and so like T. Higgins got more involved, and now we're seeing that defenses are realizing, like, hey, if we do double team Jamar Chase, like T. Higgins is going to be open, but if we double team T, then like Jamar's going to be open. So it's a real just like matchup issue for defenses because of how talented this wide receiver group is. And like you said, you just give the ball to Jamar. Jamar will make it play. And I think one of the biggest like surprises for me this year was Hayden Hurst. He's been really, really consistent in the passing game. Well, like when they lost Uzama, I was kind of upset about it because Uzama was like that glue guy, like good locker room presence, and he had a pretty good season last year. But Hayden Hurst, he's been great, doing what he's needed to. He fights for those extra yards. There's been multiple times, like third down, like 3rd and 10. Joe throws it to Hurst, and Hurst battles 2 or 3 yards to make sure he gets the first down. And I think he's winning over Bengals fans. I think we should look into like extending him more. I still think we should get Mixon involved a little bit more. I mean, he had 17 carries, but only 58 yards, 3.4 yards per carry. But he did have a touchdown, which was good to see. But I still think we got to get Mixon a little bit more involved if we want to like truly go up against some of these great defenses. But I think the Bengals are on the right track, and they're definitely.
Is the O-line back? I didn't really see the whole game. How many sacks?
This game wasn't their best. They had, I think, 3 sacks. But before, like the last couple weeks, it's been like 1 or 2. So, but I'll take 3 sacks over 7 sacks any day. So,
the O-line.
And also since week 1, Joe Burrow's thrown 1 interception. Before he had like 5. So, he's been stepping it up. He's been reading defenses better, and I think that definitely has helped them a lot. But the only thing that is kind of sucks is our defense got a little banged up last game because Reader's been up for a little bit, and then Logan Wilson, our linebacker, has been out.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get healthy soon, and we'll come back and they'll do good. But I'm buying the Bengals hype again. I'm trusting my team. I think we're heading in the right direction.
Right direction with the Bengals.
And the Super Bowl favorites.
I don't think they're Super Bowl favorites.
Not even close.
I think they'll win their division. I think they can. I think if they keep playing how they have been, I think they can beat the Ravens out. Because other than Lamar, the Ravens, I haven't seen anything that's really.
I haven't seen anything with the Ravens that.
So
and they keep choking leads, and they almost choked again this week. So
yeah, against the Browns. So
I don't trust them.
Yeah, I don't. So I think the Bengals will win the division. I think they'll probably make it to the divisional, and then I think that'll probably be it, depending on who they go up against. Because
Chiefs, Bills,
Bills. I mean, Chargers maybe.
The Chargers?
If they get healthy.
What do you mean the Chargers?
You think they're gonna be like a top team?
Yeah.
The Chargers are garbage this year.
They're gonna turn it around. It's Justin Herbert.
I don't know. That Chargers
Keenan Allen hasn't been playing. Herbert hasn't had his guy.
I mean, the Chargers they're good. I don't mean they're garbage, but I mean for what they should be, they're underperforming so much.
Yeah, but still the Chargers.
Chargers never proved anything.
Would you want to play the Chargers in the playoffs?
Oh, 100%. I would 100% take the Chargers in the playoff game. I would. That is easy game playing against the Chargers. I'll take the Pats over the Chargers in the playoffs any day.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no to that. I'm a Pats fan, so. But I'm just saying. I mean, the Chargers. I think they're a good team.
I tell you,
I wouldn't want to play.
If I'm the Bills or Chiefs and I'm looking,
I mean, AFC is stacked. I wouldn't want to play the Chiefs.
I want to play the Chargers.
I wouldn't want to play the Bills, Chiefs, Bengals, Chargers.
Chargers is not on that list. I feel like teams want to be playing the Chargers.
I mean, at the end of the day, you don't really have a choice, but I don't know.
They've just been
I
really
think the
hurt.
Chargers are a good team. I think we're underrating the Chargers.
I'm not underrating them. I think they're underperforming.
I would say they're pretty close to the Chiefs, Bills. They're in that category, I think.
What?
Yeah.
No, it's Chiefs, Bills, and then Bengals close.
No, Chargers are with the Bengals. Chargers are with the Bengals. Maybe the Chargers aren't with the Bills and Chiefs, but the Chargers are with the Bengals.
Yeah, I do think there's a big gap.
There's a big gap. There's a big gap between the Chiefs and Bills.
Yeah.
And then the drop significantly, and then I'd take the Bengals.
Chargers in.
I guess the Chargers can be there. They just haven't been healthy lately.
Who else is playoff contenders in the AFC?
No one else. I mean, the Titans.
Jets 5-2.
Jets, no.
Ravens maybe. Titans 4-2.
The Ravens.
That's pretty much it.
I would say the Ravens are in the Bengals, Chargers category.
Yeah, it's them three, but I'm not scared.
That's 5 right there, so only 2 more teams can make it.
That's wide open though. There's no other good.
And then it's gonna be the Titans, and then you got one more team.
You think the Raiders get back on track? Or maybe the Dolphins?
No.
Dolphins, maybe.
Dolphins probably will squeak in.
Pats
They got in. They almost got in
Pats
last
sneak
year.
in. Bill always finds a way.
Pats will sneak in.
Pats are not squeaking.
They will sneak in.
Definition.
Realistically, all the Pats
Right now,
have to
I'm
do
gonna pre-say it right now for next week. The Pats against the Jets are gonna expose Zach Wilson. I'm gonna say it right now, and then we're gonna see this out this week. People are overhyping the Jets right now. But trust me, the Pats are gonna expose Zach Wilson.
And then the Jets secondary is going to expose Mac Jones.
I don't know.
Jets do have a good secondary.
It's going to have to be. Ramondre Stevenson's going to have that a day because Mac Jones is
but
doing nothing.
the Jets without Brees Hall,
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
you're
him.
relying on Zach Wilson a lot now.
Yeah.
That's
That'll hurt him.
That's where the Pats defense will.
Yeah, you guys got lucky.
no.
I still believe in the Jets. They're my
without Brees
preseason
Hall.
sleeper
Not without
team.
Brees Hall.
I got to go with them, even though the Brees Hall injury does hurt a lot, which we'll get into a little bit later. But I think Zach will figure out a way. But, I mean, they'll probably lose just because, I mean, Belichick's game plans well, and without Brees, I think it'll be tough. But I also don't think Mac Jones is going to be a factor either because their secondary is really
Mac
good.
Jones, he's got a chip on his shoulder right now. Everyone's saying Bailey Zappi. Mac
Including
Jones
you.
will be back.
Oh, including you.
Including me, yeah. I mean, right now, I wouldn't mind seeing Bailey Zappi start tonight, Monday night, but I think this is good for Mac Jones. I think he's gonna because he struggled in the first half. Like he looked way worse his rookie year, but I think this gives him a little motivation. I think he'll bounce back. Monday night tonight, he'll bounce back.
And we're playing the Bears, so it should be fairly easy.
Good game for him to bounce back.
Yeah.
I agree.
But yeah, looking at this, I don't even the AFC, outside I would see the Bills and the Chiefs.
The AFC is stacked.
They're not as stacked as
They're better than the NFC. But
they're better than NFC. But if you look
outside
at
of the Bills and the
it's
Chiefs,
not
I don't
that
think it's
stacked.
Yeah.
We all thought the Raiders and Broncos were going to be good. They're not. I mean, the Ravens look mediocre.
yeah.
And then, the AFC South is, trash.
Awful.
The Titans,
Who do you think's the fifth best team in the AFC? Maybe Ravens.
So Chiefs,
Ravens.
Bills,
Chiefs, Bills, Bengals. Chargers,
Ravens.
Ravens, and then Titans.
The Ravens would give the Eagles a run for their money. The fifth best team in the AFC would give the Eagles a run for their money. The Ravens would compete in that game.
I would think the Eagles would. No.
I mean, they'll probably compete, but I think the Eagles.
Yeah, maybe the Eagles win. But I'm just saying,
I
the
think Eagles-
AFC,
outside of quarterback.
No,
the AFC is so much better than NFC.
AFC
Yeah.
is so better, but I think before the season started, people were like, the AFC is
Yeah.
there's gonna be teams that miss the playoffs that should be in the playoffs. But if you look at it,
Not anymore though.
But
I think you have 5 really good teams.
yeah.
And then I don't think you're not gonna have that team that deserves to be in the playoffs and won't make it. There's not 8 teams.
There's
anymore.
not 8 teams that
The Raiders. We also have the Broncos.
Raiders, but they don't deserve to be in it, so they're not gonna be in it.
Yeah, I mean, we had the AFC West kind of the NFC East is kind of what we expected for the AFC West.
Yeah.
6-0, 6-1, 5-2. That's what we thought. Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, or Broncos. We thought that team, that division was going to be stacked, but they've been disappointing. The Broncos have lost 4 straight.
Somehow, the what are we? The AFC East is a better division right now than the AFC West.
It
It's
is.
bad.
With the Jets and the Dolphins.
The Jets and Dolphins.
Yeah, I had the Jets going 9-8. That's still looking true.
That could still happen.
Because I think they'll probably start coming back down to earth now that Brees Hall's out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the AFC South could be wide open too. I mean, the Titans are good.
None of those teams deserve to be in it.
No, they don't. It's a terrible division. But the Jags have shown some
The
flashes.
Jags have shown flashes.
They have shown. I agree with
They
that.
just can't win
They
games.
have
I don't
shown
know.
flashes.
They look good.
I thought the Jaguars. This is their Trevor Lawrence breakout, and they would turn it around. But I don't. They're just losing games that they
Yeah,
They should be winning. I don't.
I mean, they started off shutting out the Colts,
And then destroying the Chargers.
Chargers,
And then
but
competing with the Eagles.
and then they scored 6
Then they-
points against the
then
Texans,
they-
Lose to the Texans.
and then lost to the Colts by 7, and then Giants by 6.
That was that the Matt Ryan comeback game?
Yeah, that was when he threw the game-winning touchdown.
Game-winning
to
touchdown
Allen
out
Pierce.
Yeah, Jags.
Speaking of Matt Ryan's benched now.
I think that Colts is just tanking.
Yeah, Colts are tanking. They said, I don't know if this is true, but so Matt Ryan technically is out with a shoulder injury, but which I'm sure it is. But I did see something that Bleacher Report posted that they said that they were going to bench him no matter what for the rest of the year, just so they could go full tank mode. So that was their plan, I guess, was to ride him out the first half of the season, and then
I'm in it for if you're a Colts fan, because if you can get Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, I'm all in for it. I mean, you guys have a still young talent team. It's just you guys never have a quarterback,
Yeah, you guys need to find a quarterback.
so just draft a quarterback, and it'll be could be looking good.
I was joking with Nick. I told him they draft Hendon Hooker since he's the oldest quarterback.
That'd be hilarious.
Like
That'd be a terrible draft pick. And that'd be hilarious if they end up doing that.
Yeah, the AFC is. It's really just the AFC like East somehow. Maybe like a couple of teams in the AFC West, and then the top two in the AFC North.
Yeah.
But like the AFC North's been like real bad too. Like everybody's lost pretty much every week, except like the Ravens and the Bengals pulled it out this week, but like it's pretty wide open. Yeah, so we mentioned this a couple minutes ago. Breece Hall tore his ACL yesterday, which was devastating for Jets fans because he had really been putting it together. He didn't start off too well just because they were giving Michael Carter the bulk of the carries. But these last 3 weeks, he's really broken out and like been their true number one guy. And he had a pretty good day coming into before he got hurt. He had 72.
He had like a
4 carries, 72 yards and a touchdown, and then he was getting involved, and he gets involved in the receiving game a lot, which helps him. But now it just rests on Michael Carter's shoulders. Obviously, he's not as good as Breece Hall, but
yeah,
I think like last year he showed that he can still
he's
be
still
like
good.
a quality,
he's a quality
starter. So, but like you guys said, like they play the Pats. And I think the Pats will probably win that one because
is it home in New England?
Yeah, it's in New England.
Oh, that's the one.
Actually, no. This one's in This one's in New Jersey, and then they play the Bills, and then they play the Pats at the Pats. So it would be a tough.
They're getting losing for the Jets.
It would be a tough couple of games, but yeah, I mean, I'm still riding with my pick because I kind of have to, but I think Zach Wilson. He's been a little disappointing. Like I thought he was. My reasoning for why I had the Jets so high is because I was like, this is going to be Zach Wilson's breakout year.
Yeah.
Like, sophomore year, he's going to go off. But it's really been the defense that's been carrying them. Sauce Gardner. He's been arguably a top 5 corner in the league.
Their other corner is good, too. I don't know his name. Reed or something?
Yeah, DJ Reed.
He's good, too.
Yeah. And so, I mean, their defense is really what's winning them games. And so, I think that's going to keep the Jets afloat. But the Jets have also had a lot of injuries on the O-line. Because Elijah Vera Tucker just got ruled out for the season. They lost Becton before the season. So the injury bug's starting to hit them pretty hard, which I think is tough for Jets fans. But we'll see what happens with them.
Yeah, I do think it's tough news to hear Breece Hall torn ACL. And I mean, I just feel for these running backs. I mean, with Javonte tore his ACL, Dobbins hurt his knee again. I mean, so many of running backs just getting hurt, and I just feel like for Breece Hall, it's talent. Like, I do hope it doesn't like hold him back next year. It's just sad to see, but it definitely hurts the Jets. So, but prayers up for Breece Hall. Quick recovery.
I mean, as a Pats fan, I never want to say the Jets are good, but with Breece Hall, they looked good. I think Breece Hall was able to get that offense going, but without Breece Hall, I don't know. I'm just not a big Zach Wilson guy. I think the Jets are gonna fall back on earth. They're gonna start losing games. They're gonna be the old Jets. Maybe not the old Jets, just because their defense is good now. But
yeah,
they're gonna start losing games, in my opinion. I mean, I don't think this is. I mean, they are 5-2, but I don't see them making the playoffs without Breece Hall. I think the Pats and Dolphins have a better chance. I think they're gonna start winning more games. I mean, the Dolphins, they look good. The Pats, they have a pretty easy schedule coming up, so they're gonna probably start winning games. So the Jets may be back in last place in the division. So.
What do you guys just quick about Elijah Moore wanting to get traded and then the Jets just saying it's not happening? Do you think they're getting involved? Because he was good rookie year. He was really good, and then I just kind of shocked me that they kind of just threw him away.
I mean, without Breece Hall, I think he'll get more involved.
Think so? Yeah. I mean, it's tough.
I mean,
I thought it was fine.
Yeah. Well, it's good for the Jets. I mean, staying their ground, but I guess. But the only thing that concerns me is if you look last year, which I've said this before, when Zach Wilson wasn't playing, because when he was hurt and it was Mike White or Flacco or whoever it was, that was when Elijah Moore started was trending.
He was breaking out.
But then once Zach Wilson got there, his targets declined significantly.
Zach Wilson.
It's a
And
Zach
so-
Wilson problem.
Yeah,
Elijah
so
Moore needs
I
like
think,
a pocket passer.
So I think it's just them two, because Elijah Moore, like he hasn't been great this year, but
Yeah.
like if you look,
I'll free Elijah Moore.
yeah,
I don't want
I
fantasy
mean,
team.
if you look, he had what 0 targets the last game he played, right?
Yeah, which I don't. Like, how are you?
Yeah, so he had,
How are you not giving him a target?
I don't know. So before, when did he come back? The Steelers? Yeah, Zach Wilson came back to the Steelers. 5 receptions, 49, 341, 449, and then he's had 4 receptions since Zach Wilson got back. So, but what hurts him is he hasn't scored a touchdown yet, which hurts fantasy-wise, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think Elijah Moore is a good enough talent to where he'll get it back. I just think there has to be they have to, because obviously he's not happy. So there needs to be a conversation between him and Zach Wilson. Be like, hey, like, I think I'm pretty good. Like, I'm pretty good. You just got to find me. I'll make the play. Just gotta find me. And so I think Garrett Wilson's also hasn't helped him because Garrett Wilson's been kind of like taking that spotlight. But I agree with Breece Hall out. Like Michael Carter isn't as much of a passing threat as Breece Hall was. So I think they're gonna have to lean on Elijah Moore more if they want to like kind of Or I mean, if they want to just keep him on the team, because he very well could just like not hold out, but like next year just like hold out as like a second, third year guy, and like, that would not be good for the Jets. So they got to figure something out. But I don't know if they should. I don't know if trading him is the answer. I think it's a little too early for that.
Yeah,
But I can see his side on it because I would be frustrated if I had this pretty good year last year, and this year I'm just not even getting targeted. So like I feel free.
I just think it's funny that Garrett Wilson's best game was with Joe Flacco. Elijah Moore's best game was with Mike White. Like, I don't know. I just see like maybe Zach Wilson just can't give them the ball. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, Garrett Wilson looked really good that game with Joe Flacco. Like,
he did.
he looked really good. Like, I mean, we just haven't seen that since. And maybe that's because Zach Wilson just can't give him the ball.
Are you a Zach Wilson believer?
I'm not a Zach Wilson believer.
I'm not a Zach Wilson believer.
I wasn't, and then I kind of fed it into the offseason hype, but I don't know anymore.
Okay.
I'm a Jets team believer.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sorry. But my reasoning for why they were going to be good was Zach Wilson, which I admit I was wrong on, but I still think I'm good with the Jets.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe Zach Wilson isn't the guy. I mean, it's still a second year, a little early, but I wouldn't give up on him yet. But like, if there's a continual trend, like where Joe Flacco, Mike White are outplaying him, then you have to start looking internally and be like, hey. Which is kind of, I mean, this last year's quarterback class hasn't really been great.
It's not good.
Like, Trevor Lawrence has shown flashes this year, but he hasn't been phenomenal. Davis Mills sucks now. Justin Fields is playing really bad. Zach Wilson hasn't done much. Mac Jones has been probably the best one out there. And then Trey Lance hasn't
got a chance.
Hasn't gotten a shot yet. So, and I mean, he hasn't played organized football in like 3 years. So we'll see with him. But I mean, for one of the more hyped up draft classes, like quarterback wise, like they've been really struggling lately. So, but I think Trevor can turn it around. Obviously, Mac Jones is going to keep doing his thing. I think once Trey Lance gets healthy,
I think Fields could turn it around on a different team. I think Justin Fields.
jumped out of his chair.
On a different team. I think Justin Fields. I think he has the talent. If he goes to a different team, he could turn it around. No way on the Bears though.
Okay.
There's no way. In that Bears offense, there's no way he turns it around. But if he can, I don't know how he would get to a different team. I mean,
I don't know. Even like
I don't know.
I think the Bears
I like
are-
him as a scrambler. I mean, he looks good. Like, he looks shifty. He looks fast. And I mean, like, yeah, like, it's more like you need to be able to pass the ball. But I mean, like, he's like a playmaker. So, I mean, I would take that. I would take Justin Fields over Zach Wilson any day. Any day.
I mean, Zach Wilson's better on him, but
yeah.
Justin Fields' rushing ability does help him. Because what game was it? Was it the Thursday night game?
Yeah, he looked good.
He had like a really big run, and then he had a really nice over the shoulder touchdown to Dante Pettis.
I don't think he can turn it around. I don't even think he got
On the right team?
Yeah, but there's no. I don't. Who's like what right team's gonna take a shot on him? No good team's gonna take a shot on him. It's not worth it.
I just think like if you were to get put on a good roster, I think.
I mean, even if he was on like the Falcons or something, like that would be anything would be better than the Bears.
Everything would be better.
The Bears just
It's
don't
true.
have they don't have an offensive line. They don't have receivers. They
No
don't
receivers
have
at
a
all.
running back.
It's
So
no
bad.
receiver.
Like he's in the worst situation in football as a young quarterback. And I mean, I'm not giving up on him yet, but I'm getting close just because I think it's mostly situational based. But if you look in the past, Ohio State quarterbacks in the NFL are garbage. So just the writing on the wall is there for Justin. So I hope he turns it around. But yeah, I think him getting in a new situation would be ideal for him. But the realistic side of that, I'm not sure if that'll
He'll probably be on the Bears for
that'll
his
happen.
career. So
I mean, probably for at least the next 2 years, because there's no way they're picking up his fifth year option if he continues to play like this. So we'll see. I'm not totally giving up, but the Bears are awful. All right. Anything else on the NFL from this week, or you said you wanted to do a Super Bowl prediction?
yeah, Super Bowl prediction.
We'll let you start since you won.
My Super Bowl prediction is the Chiefs, Eagles.
Chiefs, Eagles. I'll go Bills, Eagles.
I'm going Bills 49ers.
Easy to switch it up. Bills 49ers. Alright.
I like that one.
I would love to see a Chiefs Bucks or Chiefs 49ers too rematch.
But I want to see Chiefs, Bills, and then Eagles 49ers fight it out. It'll be
Eagles 49ers.
it'll be a good matchup.
I want to see the Cowboys and Niners again. Just to see the Cowboys fuck it up.
They're gonna lose. I'm going 49ers.
Yeah. I mean, like we said earlier, NFC is wide open, so. But those are definitely, like, I'd say if I were to pick two contenders from each, I'd go probably.
Yeah, those.
I'd go Niners, Eagles, Bills, Chiefs.
Yeah.
So.
I agree with that.
This past week marked the first week of the NBA season, which was exciting for basketball fans, and this past week was exciting for all sports fans because we had playoff baseball, start of basketball, and college and NFL football. So if you're a sports fan, this is the time to be alive. Also, shout out Phillies for making the World Series.
Go Phillies.
Go Phillies. But one of the biggest kind of storylines, I feel, has been the Celtics continuing to dominate the East. They're 3-0 right now. Tatum and Brown have looked like the best backcourt duo this season, and I'm sitting next to two Celtics fans, so had to add it in. But I'll let you two just talk about your Celtics for a couple minutes.
Oh, Celtics are finals favorites. I think I thought after the whole Ime scandal or whatever that it was kind of like I was a little worried about what happened, but I just feel like this team has so much motivation right now. I feel like Tatum for MVP. I think he will be an MVP, like top contention. I don't know how do you want to say it, but I think especially with the ad of Brogdon, every Celtics player right now looks like they're on one mission, and that is to go win the finals. I think after we got over the hump of finally making it to the finals, the team they don't look like nervous anymore. They look dominant. They look like, okay, I know I can be in the finals and I should be in the finals. They just have that mentality where I haven't seen it before, where it was always like, oh, there was always a worry, oh, can we get over this? Are we gonna lose? And now that we finally had that finals experience, I think even though we lost, which hurt, I just feel like that was such a big thing for us, like a lesson learned. So I just feel like the team's hungry, and I think we will continue to do this. And I'm excited. It's a good time to be a Celtics fan, so I'm excited for another year for the Celtics playoff run. I'm excited. So
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, the finals is definitely huge, getting over the hump. The Celtics, the past couple of years, always look slow in the start of the season. Especially last year. They didn't have that turnaround. They just always look slow, and I just feel like they never, were confident. I just didn't think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown had that confidence. Like, we are the best duo. Like, we can do it. But I think them making the finals, I mean, this year just shows. Like, they know they can do it. They know they're the best duo. And I mean, as a Celtics fan, like, you can't be more happier. I mean, they're phenomenal. I mean, we don't even have Robert Williams right now, and we're still dominating. Like,
and everyone's
like
taking a next step. Grant Williams taking a next step, looking good. I mean, Brogdon's playing his role, and then like I think Tatum's taking a next step. Like,
Tatum's definitely taking it. I've never seen Tatum play like this. So playing defense and offense at the same time, and him just going to the hoop more. Like, I feel like he doesn't do that often, but this year he's taking to the hoop, and it just looks easy for him.
Yeah,
Tatum's on a mission this year.
He is on a mission.
Love it.
Getting disrespected in the finals for underperforming.
Yeah,
he wants his revenge.
Yeah, I think the Celtics. I think definitely like favorites in the East. They've come out hot. I agree with you, Ryan. I thought once the whole Ime situation happened, I was a little less high on them because I felt like one of the big reasons why they made the finals was because Ime had put in a great game plan and was the sole reason why they did that. But I mean, once you got Tatum and Brown, I mean, that's all you really need. And they have one of the better supporting casts. I loved the Brogdon deal. I thought getting him was huge because it was exactly what the Celtics needed. A tall scoring point guard can play the 1 and the 2, can get you some defense. Because Marcus Smart, as great of a defender he is, he doesn't really put the ball in the basket when you need him to. And so I think you can run, you can have him at point guard, and, like on the bench, or you can have him at the point guard, and then you can have Brogdon there at the 2, which still gives you scoring, gives you second ball handler, and really just I feel like that is going to be a big piece for you guys going forward. And like you said, like they're doing all this without Robert Williams. And Robert Williams last year was one of the best interior defensive like big men, and so that's huge. But yeah, I think they got a taste of success. They got a taste of the finals, and I think like you guys said, they're hungry to get back, and they have the cast to get there. But one thing that I'm really impressed about is since Tatum and Brown have been on the league, it's always been you're either on Tatum's side or you're on Brown's side. Like, and before last year, there's been always rumors like we gotta trade Jaylen Brown. They're just not working. They're not clicking. We gotta trade Jaylen Brown. But like towards the second half of last year in the playoffs and the finals, they've been starting to mesh really well. And like you said, Tatum didn't perform great in the finals, but Brown did. And now Brown's performing well, and Tatum's performing better than Brown. But I think the 1-2 punch that they have is huge, and I'm glad that the Celtics just like didn't listen to everybody and be like, all right, well, they just obviously can't click. They waited it out, and it's proving like great for them which I didn't really understand the whole thing because Brown is such a great defender and he's a great scorer. Yeah. So like that's what every team wants, and then you have your number 1 in Tatum who will just get you a bucket whenever you need to. Yeah. And I think it's kind of gone from Tatum and Brown to like 1A, 1B type thing. Yeah. And so I think that's been huge for the Celtics' success, that both of them are playing confidently, and they're both playing confidently together. And I think the chemistry in that locker room is sky high.
No complaints by either one of them. So that's
and I think, like you said, like Grant Williams has been huge. He's Marcus Smart, one of probably the best perimeter defender in the league. I think, what is he allowed, like less than 11 points on everybody's guarding or something like that this year.
Yeah.
And then you still got guys like Brogdon, Pritchard, Robert Williams when he comes back. I think they're definitely, in my eyes, finals favorites. Yeah. And I think they're poised to make another big run if they can all stay healthy. And yeah, who's your guys' coach? Do you know his name? I don't know his name.
No, it's like.
I have no idea who it is.
I know what he looks like.
I'm just focusing on the team. I know what he looks like. I just don't know his name.
I don't know his name.
I'll eventually figure it out. I'll hear it.
Yeah, what do you guys think of that Ime situation? I mean, it's been a little bit since then, but
I just think it's just a tough situation because Ime is a really good coach, and like the fact that he just brought us to the finals last year, and I feel like the players have so much respect for him, and he just has that authority over the players, which like Tatum and Brown needed as like young players, and so like when I heard the news, I was like kind of devastated, and I thought it would hurt us, but I feel like because of the players, we're all like they're so hungry. Like it's not like LeBron did it. Like you don't always need a coach to go to the finals, so I don't think it'll affect it that much. But I mean, I'm not gonna judge Ime, but I don't know what he was doing there. But yeah, I mean, we'll get him back next year. Like he's not like fired, right?
No, I think some people were saying he should be fired, but I think the Celtics said
they won't fire him.
I
Well,
think so.
I'm just nervous about
Okay,
if he'll have that same respect that he had.
Yeah,
Like
he probably did. I'm sure he did lose some respect
Yeah,
in the locker room, so he's gonna have to gain that in like the offseason.
Well, a lot of people have said that like the Celtics over punished him because it wasn't the NBA like the.
Well, I don't think he should have been suspended unless
I don't
in
think
the
he should
rule
have
book
been
it says like no like relationships with like a staff member, and like if there's a rule that says like that will be penalized, then like I understand, but like
Yeah.
if it was just the Celtics just being like, but I'm pretty sure it's against violation of the rule book.
I think it was.
I'm pretty
'Cause
sure
it was, like,
that's
team.
why.
Yeah,
So
but
I agree that
I
LeBron
saw
should have
something.
got
It wasn't like it didn't have to be a year, but the Celtics wanted like a statement and like
I
said
don't-
like we're gonna like because I guess it's like I mean it's good. Like I guess you gotta if it's a
Yeah.
rule like you don't want to like get him like
We'll be
get
fine.
him off easy.
I mean, he may definitely turn the Celtics around, just making them play defense, just having his respect. I mean, all of a sudden, like, the Celtics are the number one defense, and that was key to success. So, like, I'm grateful for Ime, but I think now, like,
I feel like
they just know
they
it
learned
now.
so much and they know it now.
They know it now, so like, you don't really need Ime to like get on them. Like, they know to play defense now. I mean, Jason Tatum is playing phenomenal defense, so like,
Yeah.
I feel like you don't really. I mean, I would love to have Ime back, but
I just
think
hope
right now will be fine.
I hope he like doesn't like. I don't hope this doesn't affect him like next year. I hope he's like, okay, I messed up, but like I'm not gonna let this affect my like basketball career.
Didn't he apologize?
I think he did. Yeah,
He'll be back next
he'll be
year.
back. He'll be fine.
It's been a crazy offseason, though. I mean, I remember one day I woke up and I got a report saying the Celtics want to trade Jaylen Brown for Kevin Durant. You remember that?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that
was
was,
so
even,
mad.
like, this year. Yeah,
This is literally this offseason. I was like, are you kidding
That was
me?
the
Like,
dumbest thing I've ever seen.
And I was so nervous I was going to, like, make Jaylen Brown mad, and then...
yeah.
But thank God it didn't. I mean, they look fine. And
They
then
look
Ime
fine.
gets suspended. I mean, we still look fine. And then
Overcome
Robert
it.
Williams gets out for, like, a couple months, but we still look fine. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Celtics, they handle adversity pretty well.
I forgot about that, KD.
Yeah, that was terrible. I don't know what the Celtics were thinking.
I mean, I get their thought process.
Well, Katie
but-
and Tatum would have never worked out together.
Yeah,
no, it wouldn't have. But
It's just
I mean,
dumb.
The entire league.
Katie couldn't
The
even win
entire
with
league.
Kyrie. I don't know, like
Yeah.
Katie hasn't proved himself in a long time, so like I don't know
Yeah.
why we would have risked it. And like we have Brown and Tatum for the next like 6 years if we re-sign him, which like we probably will. So like it's like our future set, and we're like finals contenders. So I don't know why risk like maybe one championship
Yeah.
and
I
throw
mean-
away our future.
Credit Jaylen Brown's like character. 'Cause,
I know. Love
He has
character.
such a good character.
I feel like coming off of like that finals run where he was the best player on the Celtics, and then
Yeah.
probably not maybe a month later getting thrown in trade talks, like that had to hurt his ego. But he was willing to push that aside and
I love
become
that
like a
about him.
team first guy, and he's playing just how he did like when the finals.
Yeah.
was. So he's making sure the Celtics like reconsider like attempting to trade him again because he's that guy. And plus, like you said, like they're banging for the future. Both Tatum and Brown are what, like 26, 25?
Yeah.
So like they're still super young, hitting their primes. So I think the Celtics are in a great spot for the now and the future.
I'm pretty sure there was reports though that the trade talks was kind of false.
I heard that.
I'm
but
pretty sure the trade talks was I think like before the playoffs or like during the deadline last year. So I don't know if like it was true or not. I mean, if it was, then thank God Jaylen Brown is such a good character and like didn't like let that like determine how the season goes. If it wasn't, who cares? Like all that matters is this year. So I just thought it was a crazy offseason. I mean, so many stuff happened.
Yeah. You guys just said
One
coach's
goal,
name is
Banner
Joe
18, one goal.
Mazzulla.
Joe Mazzulla.
Joe Mazzulla. That's the interim coach. Yeah, he got his first dub. The locker room was
Oh, is he
hyped.
from? Oh, it said he went to Virginia.
He
He
played
college
basketball for West Virginia.
I'm pretty sure he's pretty good in college.
He got drafted in 2011. I don't know, never heard of him before.
I didn't even know. Well, he was on our staff, right? He was our assistant.
Yeah,
I didn't even know he was our assistant. Now he's our head coach.
Yeah. Speaking of a team that has gotten off to a slow start, the Celtics' bitter rivals, the Los Angeles Lakers. They're 0-3. They're awful. Really bad. And, like, for me personally, I'm a LeBron fan, so, like, I root for the Lakers, but, like, the Lakers aren't my team, so, like, I really don't care what they do.
Yeah, don't care.
But I want LeBron to have success, like, throughout the end of his career and stuff. But Rob Pelinka has done an awful job on building this team the last 2 years. And if you look at the team last year, I think their average age was like 35 or something. They're the oldest team in the league. Obviously, it didn't work out. They were terrible. And then this year, they get some young guys. And I'm like, all right, they got some young guys, might help them out a little bit. But then they go out and trade for Patrick Beverley. They trade THT for Patrick Beverley, which I like Patrick Beverley. Like, he's a good player.
I think he's...
But he doesn't fit the Lakers at all.
Yeah.
The first game against, who was it? The Warriors, right? Yeah, the Warriors, I think. Their starting lineup was Russell Westbrook, Patrick Beverley, Lonnie Walker, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. There's no shooting on that team at all. No shooting at all.
Especially with the NBA now, it's like a three-pointing league, so like they can't shoot. It's just
and that's evident throughout the entire team. The Lakers are 25 for 118 from 3-point range through 3 games, which is the second lowest of any team ever. So, they're really bad. They got a new coach.
That is terrible.
They're still trying to experiment with Russell Westbrook. They're putting him on the bench. They're playing him in crunch time. Russ had like 0 points and said he played well, so I don't know what he was thinking.
He's playing terrible. I thought Russell was really gonna bounce back. I like Russell.
I never thought it was. I just from the get go, like, because they originally were gonna take the Buddy Hield offer.
Oh, that'd be a great
then
trade.
They pivoted, and I'll talk about that in a sec. And then they pivoted into the Russell Westbrook trade, just because they wanted the 3 guys. But I knew right when they got Russell Westbrook that he did not fit the team because to have 6, LeBron's a great player, but when he's at his best is when he has shooters. He's able to facilitate.
Yeah.
Because if you watch some of these plays, like he makes some pretty impressive passes, but the dudes just drop it or miss the wide open shot or whatever it is. But like LeBron's. And his career now is a really good playmaker, and he's at his best when he has shooters around him. And their best shooter is Austin Reeves, who's probably a 30, maybe 3% shooter at best. So, like, that's really discouraging for the Lakers. And LeBron said it. Like, LeBron said, we can't, like, I forget the exact, it's something about a penny. It's like, we can't, like, shoot a penny or something like that. It was really, but, like, he admits, like, their shooting sucks. So, if I'm Rob Pelinka, like, I'm making calls, or I'm losing my job. Like, you gotta, this is probably LeBron's in year 20. You don't have many more years of LeBron left. Like, you gotta capitalize. And AD hasn't been able to stay healthy, so you might not even have many years of AD left.
Yeah.
So you gotta capitalize on the team you have now. And what drives me up the wall is they're so protective of their 2027 and 2029 picks. That's 5-7 years in the future. You don't know if you're going to be good or bad by then.
Yeah.
Like, they could have gotten... There was one trade. It was Mike Conley, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Rudy Gay, and the Jazz 2023 first-round pick for just the 27 and 29 first.
They want to keep it for Bronny.
I know, but like I still don't understand it. I mean, that trade doesn't help them a lot, but Mike Conley, I feel like fits better. Bogdan can shoot, and a Jazz 23 first round pick that could be valuable.
Was this before Donovan Mitchell got traded?
No, this is after Donovan Mitchell.
And it's, I mean, I feel like the Jazz are like, I mean, yeah, they're doing good right now, but I feel like that could be a valuable pick.
But then, like the trade that I keep hearing is for Buddy Hield.
I like that.
Buddy Hield and Miles Turner for those 2 picks and Russell Westbrook. And like the Pacers have been really interested in Russell Westbrook, and I'm so surprised why they haven't taken that. I get so like, maybe looking back, like you traded 2 first-round picks for like Miles Turner and Buddy Hield doesn't look great, but Buddy Hield currently has more threes this year than the entire Lakers team. So, and like that's what he's a career 40% shooter from 3. Like that's what he's meant to do. And I think he would fit perfectly in this system. And then Miles Turner, young center, he can stretch the floor. He's a great interior presence.
Yeah.
and then you run out a team of Beverly, Hield, LeBron, AD, and Turner. I like that a lot more than the team that they ran out with day one. So, I mean...
That's still not a lot of spacing, though. I feel like the biggest problem with the Lakers is spacing.
Oh, 100%. But
I don't know.
I don't know if they have the pieces to really acquire
it's
that.
hard, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm just amazed
I'm
at how they
I'm
went
waiting.
from the 2020 season winning a championship to just demolishing their team.
Who?
Like they had
They didn't have their pick last year, right? Like this draft.
all of their picks are on the Pelicans now since the AD trade.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't know if they drafted a rookie this year, they didn't have a pick.
Because I mean, they gave up a lot for AD, obviously, like Brandon Ingram, all those.
So who
Lonzo,
did
all those
the
guys.
Pelicans get this year with their pick?
They got not Herb Jones. It was. Let me look. They have so many rookies. They drafted. Oh, it was Dyson Daniels. That's who it was. Dyson Daniels, and then Liddell from Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
But Dyson Daniels, I like him a lot.
Yeah.
It's pretty good for the Pelicans.
Yeah, and I mean that's what I was listening to something this morning. They have their pick this year. So let's say if this continues and the Lakers are bottom 5 team in the NBA, the Pelicans are sitting pretty. They get in the lottery. You got Ingram, Zion, Wembanyama. There's nobody stopping that team. So the Pelicans are sitting pretty right now. But if I'm the Lakers, I'm not regretting that trade at all. You won a championship, AD. That's been great. He just doesn't stay healthy. I'm more surprised that Rob Pelinka still has a job because he completely deconstructed this roster. They've gotten worse since they won the championship. He traded away Kuzma, KCP, like core guys for them at that time for Russell Westbrook. And then since Russell Westbrook's been in on the Lakers, it's been nothing but trade rumors. But they haven't been able to get anything together.
Yeah.
So I think they got to figure something out.
Anymore.
Which I'm confused on. I don't know. I haven't been watching the games, but is their defense good at all? Because I feel like whoever the coach's name is, I feel like if your team isn't hitting threes, the only way you can win with this team. I mean, you got LeBron and AD and Patrick Beverly and Westbrook, which all the decent defenders. You got to be able you have to change your identity and understand we can't shoot threes, but hey, we can play really good defense. And then you're going to win games by keeping low-scoring games and then LeBron in crunch time, which I don't understand because he's a bad coach. I feel like he's got to switch that and just put the mindset, let's just, start playing good defense and keeping games close. They're just letting, they're just trying to, they're not playing to their strengths at all.
Yeah. I mean, Warriors shot the 123 on them, that's fine because it's the Warriors. Clippers 103 and then Blazers 106.
But I don't think. I mean, they kept it close to the. They almost just lost by 2 in 6.
Yeah, I think Lillard had a day. Yeah, he had 41.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go out and say that. I wouldn't give up on the Lakers.
Yeah, I wouldn't give up on them either.
I still think.
Then I don't think they're gonna be a top team,
But I still think they
can in the middle.
Yeah, I just think they need to make some sort of trade.
I think it's spacing.
It's definitely spacing.
It's definitely spacing. I mean, they have the worst 3-point percentage right now, and you just have no spacing at all. So it's just so easy to play defense on them. I mean, you can't shoot threes. You could help in the paint at all times, and it's just
yeah.
You gotta find spacing.
I think
there.
it's a terrible way of the coach rebuild this team around because if you
What's
have
the starting lineup right now?
It's Westbrook.
Beverly, Westbrook, Lonnie Walker, LeBron, and AD.
That's terrible. Because if you have LeBron, you gotta clear out.
You gotta clear out
and let
You need
LeBron
shooters
go to work.
And let LeBron go to work.
But I don't know why are you building around Patrick? First of all, put Patrick Beverly on the bench.
They're building around Anthony Davis, but they're not doing it correctly.
That is still
because
you gotta give Anthony Davis.
If I'm
shooters.
the Lakers, I'm trading Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
If I can get the right price.
No, I'm trading
trading
Westbrook.
Davis.
I need Westbrook out. And
Well, yeah. I mean, if
you gotta move it around and get LeBron back at the 1 and let AD play down low. And you can work off them too, and just get straight shooters up the perimeter.
Anthony Davis is injury prone, so if you can get the right price for him, I'm taking it. Give me some, I don't know who to get, but
I'm open to the idea. It just has to be an offer you can't refuse. But I mean, AD's been healthy 3 games in.
But I do think it's funny how the Lakers are playing. There's a lot of memes.
Oh, it's so
So Westbrook, I mean,
The memes are so fun.
LeBron,
They're
they're
LeBron
balling.
shooting from the logo and just airballing.
Yeah. I
Westbrook
mean, LeBron looks
shooting on the
frustrated,
backboard.
too. Yeah, they're just bad. But if you look at their upcoming games, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Nuggets, Pelicans, Jazz, Cavs, Clippers, like those are all going to be losses probably. I mean, they might pull one out, but I'm not buying the Lakers right now.
I would say try to trade Westbrook first. If you can't get anything, try to trade Anthony Davis. If not, then
I think trading Anthony Davis is like that's when they've hit the panic button. Is when they trade if they trade Anthony or if they even think about trading Anthony Davis. But yeah, they're not great, not good at all. But one team that's been surprising has been the Utah Jazz. They're 3-0, which I would not have thought.
it won't last for that long.
No, it's not. It's not going to last at all. But after trading Mitchell and Gobert, shout out Jazz, thank you for Mitchell. They've been 3-0. Markkanen's been a beast. What is he averaging, like 25 a game or something like that? But yeah, it's not sustainable.
It's not.
They're going to be one of the worst teams in the league. They're tanking.
Keep up their schedule.
Yeah.
Or yeah, who do
Imagine
they
they just
who
keep
do
this
they
up though, and they're just like nasty the whole year.
Did you see the meme of Danny Ainge when he was like, it was him in the stands, and he was like shocked, and it was like when you rebuild like a, or when you're trying to win but you're rebuilding or something like that.
Yeah.
But they
putting
beat
up
the
numbers.
They beat the
Nuggets,
Nuggets?
Timberwolves, and Pelicans. Those are three of the best
They're
teams in
averaging
the West.
100, like almost 120 a game. Like, they're putting up numbers.
Yeah. And I mean,
I don't think there's just so many games played in the NBA. It's 3-0 is too early.
yeah. I mean, I thought like once they got Sexton, like Sexton's his usage rate's gonna be like 99. Like it's gonna be as high as like Luka's. So he's gonna be good. But yeah, the Jazz are gonna keep this up at all.
I agree.
Do you like their new uniforms?
What do they look like?
They kind of look like highlighters.
Oh no, those are really ugly. I saw those on Instagram. Really ugly. I want them to go back to the throwback.
Yeah, those
Can you see
Those
them?
throwback, the purple ones.
are absolutely terrible jerseys, Utah.
Yeah.
They look like G League jerseys.
They do.
They look like G League jerseys. Like we're playing the G League.
Looks very basic.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I don't know who's designing jerseys. They're just like
yeah. Well, right when they did that, like everybody was just like dogging on them because obviously they're really bad, and they're like, actually, we want to go back to our old ones. But the NBA was like, nah, you can't do that. So they're stuck with these.
wait, they couldn't go back. Wow.
No, because they already started like printing them for like Nike and everything, and so then they'd have to like recall all of them, which we didn't want to do. So, but yeah, they're not great.
How are the Tims doing with Rudy Gobert? And
Oh, they've been doing good.
I was wondering how that was going to work.
They're 2-1 right now,
terrible.
but I think it's been more. I think Rudy Gobert has been, 15-15 his last game.
15-15.
He's been like really good. He's averaging 16, 18,
18 rebounds.
and then I think he's got a couple blocks too. Yeah, he's averaging a blocking.
I'm gonna have to.
I'm excited to see how that.
I want to see how that plays out.
Two big men like that.
Yeah, I like the Timberwolves team. I think Edwards is a beast.
Yeah.
And then
And they have Anthony.
they have Cat.
Well, I think what works so well is like Cat can stretch the floor.
Yeah, that's
That's
why.
The fact that he can shoot threes like pretty consistently, like you can't just leave him open.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like that's huge. So I like that.
Yeah, that's what makes the trade not awful. Because if Cat couldn't shoot, then it would be.
It'd be like, yeah, like, what are you doing?
But since he can shoot, like it helps him a lot. But yeah, the Timberwolves are good.
Keep up the standings.
Yeah. I'll put the standings.
See, like,
I'm super high on the Pelicans this year.
I'm gonna say you guys.
I think
sleeper
the,
teams.
I think the
put 'em out.
Pelicans are gonna finish as a top 4 seed in the West. So but Zion did just get hurt, and Ingram got hurt, but it should be just short-term injuries. So it's not too bad. But as long as everyone can stay healthy, they'll be chilling. But yeah, the Jazz and the Blazers are number 1 and 2 in the West.
Jeez, I like the
There's-
Pelicans. I've always liked the Pelicans.
There's
Celtics, Bucks.
The Cavs have been great.
Cavs been
Mitchell's averaging like 30 plus.
The Cavs will be good.
Mitchell's averaging 30 plus, and this is without Garland. Garland's been out since the first game.
The Eastern Conference is gonna have some high level of competition in the playoffs. Some really good teams. I'm excited for
and
that.
The Sixers
I
started
want
off
to see the
0-3.
Pistons take.
Sixers on there. I hope the Sixers don't make the playoffs.
They're gonna make the playoffs.
No playoffs. I would
I
laugh.
hope the Pistons get over the hump. Like not like the hump, but like I hope we could see some
They're
flashes of
they're
Cade.
they're building something for sure.
They're building
Cade,
something.
Yeah,
Ivy, Sadiq,
not this year.
They got Isaiah
I can see
Stewart.
making them playing this year.
Oh yeah, I can see
Playing. I didn't almost say playing last
That's
year.
what I want to see from them. Just look like, in the Celtics where like you can see that like flash by Cade. I'm like, you gotta see that flash by Cade this year.
Yeah, I think Cade's gonna have a big sophomore year. But yeah, everyone's tanking for Wembanyama, so we'll see what happens.
He's gonna be unbelievable.
Yeah,
He's gonna be nasty. He's like 7 foot. He's like if Kevin Durant was 7'4". That's pretty much what he is.
I wonder who will get him.
I don't know.
I'd love to see the Thunder get him. Him and Chet.
Chet.
That'd be great.
That'd be terrible.
That would be.
I think that'd be.
That would be if, like, who was it? When Hakeem and Ralph Sampson were there.
Yeah.
But a way skinnier and more 3-point based version.
That's what the NBA is today. So. Who do you think Victor would work best with, or what team do you think he fits with?
He fits with a lot of teams.
I feel like
I kind of want him to go to the Spurs.
Spurs, I like that.
I think Popovich.
I like that.
Can get him.
I like that.
Can coach him
Well,
up.
I also like
Coach him
Kings.
up real well.
him and D Fox.
Love the Kings.
I would love that. That'd be
I like
nice.
the Spurs. I would love to see them.
Because I feel like Pop.
I don't
would-
want him on the Thunder.
No, I don't really
I
want.
think that'd be a terrible situation.
But I feel like Pop would. He'd coach him up well, and obviously he's one of the
I like
best
that.
coaches.
I like that.
And plus, I feel like Wembanyama's great, but like he's still. I don't know how he'll translate in the NBA just because of his like frame
Yeah.
and stuff. So we'll see. But I think Pop will help. Yeah, I can see the Kings, maybe Rockets. Obviously maybe the Magic.
Oh, the Rocket is the Rockets
Him
tank
and
for
Jalen Green.
That'd be nice.
or somehow the Pelicans.
Yeah, I mean, if the
Lakers-
Lakers do real bad, the Pelicans are in prime position. So I don't know.
I feel like I feel because like other teams like the Thunder will lose on purpose. The Lakers have a pick, they're gonna lose on purpose.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like zero.
But I think, with the new newer lottery system, like you
don't know.
You never know.
That's true.
Like somebody from like pick 11 could jump all the way to 1, and then they get Wembanyama. So
I hate the lottery system. I know you guys.
yeah,
I don't like it.
I think so.
I think it's okay. I get it. I think it's okay, but
I think the bottom 3 teams, like you're the only ones with top 3 pick.
because it would suck to like lose.
I
all
think you
those
should
games.
like separate it into like top 3, then like the next like maybe 4, then the next maybe like 6.
Or like when you're top 3, like you're guaranteed 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
And everybody
But
else.
actually, if I think about it, it's kind of cool, like because it kind of eliminates tanking in a way.
That was the purpose of it.
That is, no, I'll take that back.
'cause
I like
Adam
that.
Silver-
I hate when teams tank.
Adam Silver's very against tanking.
I agree with it. You should always try to win. I think you're dumb if you try to tank. I feel like maybe the NFL, just do something like that.
That would be interesting.
I don't think it should happen, but
Yeah, I mean, they don't even have a lottery. It's just whoever gets
last place.
last gets it.
I feel like NFL's different. There's less games.
Yeah,
So
plus
it's
they
a
have
game. So
more
it's not
rounds.
Like, you're not watching a team.
You're not watching a
82
team
games just like
lose
absolute
30.
sell. I mean, the NFL, I would say by like week 8, that's when you like know like when you're gonna like if you start tanking, but like no one really
Unless you're
cares.
the Dolphins.
I feel like you can't really tell in the NFL if you're tanking because there's just teams that are just bad.
Yeah.
Like the NBA,
You can
could,
tell.
like,
Yeah, I also think there's like more rounds in the NFL, so it doesn't really
Yeah.
like you can find talent like second or third round. So.
I feel NBA, it's so hard to hit on the draft.
Oh yeah,
It's
like,
so hard.
so hard.
Yeah, it's a lot difficult, more difficult, but yeah, tank season for a lot of teams, and then there's a lot of teams trying to win it all, obviously. So I'm happy the NBA's back. I like watching the NBA. And like I said earlier, we got football, we got the World Series coming up, we got basketball. The TV's gonna be on 24/7. All right, well, that'll wrap it up for us today. Thank you all for watching. Thank you guys for being on, and make sure to follow us on all of our social medias. And have a good rest of your day. Peace.
Yes, sir.